and inviting. We are modeling the value shifts, practicing church as heart-to-heart connection, those 5 value shifts that we break out in our book, which I don't think we've actually spoken of or said during this whole time. So the book, you got to get it, read it. It elaborates on these 5 shifts that we are noticing in the kingdom of God that need to break into our world. We're inviting others to join us by training and funding this global movement this week. We are going for $3,000 more a month, which doesn't quite bridge our missing, what we're lacking, but gets us really in a much better place than we are right now. And we have $200 a month so far pledged. So if you are waiting to give till the last day, today is the last day. I mean, not really. If you're hearing this online or on Facebook next week sometime and you want to be a monthly donor, we'll give you a free audio book too if you're a new donor. So I won't contain it to just today, because I know a lot of you have not been able to watch while we've been live, but you're catching up. You're watching them on Facebook and maybe on the replays or wherever else we might have these later on. So just know, if you're a new giver, click that link or increase your giving. There should be a link in your responder email that you get that you can click to claim your free audio copy of Relational Revolution. We want to gift that, please. All right, that's about it. And then we move into what this meeting is. So what is this meeting?
This is normally our operations circle. We talk about the different operating systems that run Luke 10, not so like our email systems, our calendars, help people get connected to Church 101s and intro calls and leader teams. We talk about the joy-fueled journal sometimes here and how to best get it in front of you, the reader. And am I missing anything else that this lovely circle does? We are down a member today. He is on vacation. His daughter is visiting him from Nashville, and they're having so much fun. But we do miss Dennis.
Yes.
Am I missing anything else that our circle encompasses?
I think just like all the circles, one of the things at the heart is it's operations, but then holding the values and practices and making sure that the operations even reflect those same, or reflect and support that culture as well. Which is, we do that in every circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hillary, I don't know if we want to model this at all. We haven't done this yet, but just how our agenda has our aims and domains. Every circle in divine governance and sociocracy, all of our circles, we have aims and we have domains. I have them pulled up, but
I think we could do that after we checked in.
Oh, great. So that's just, well, I didn't know if we were going to talk about ops stuff today or if we were going to do something else, maybe talk about Church of Two. I didn't know what we were going to do. So just letting them know we have actual aims and domains of this circle. We don't even need to tell them what they are, honestly. Just letting them know that it's organized and we actually do have those things listed out for ourselves.
Yes. Well, why don't we get started off with a check-in, and then we can decide what we want to do today. If we want to go into domains, if we want to talk about agenda items, or if we want to just talk more about CO2, Church of Two, and what that means. So I'll start. I'm checking in. Really excited, thankful, and impatient. Excited and thankful that today's our last day. So bad, but I am. I'm excited that it's our last day. I'm excited that our late notice email to invite people to our celebration round had some feedback, had some people going in and signing up. That's exciting. And impatient because Louie and I are going on vacation in June, and it's not June yet. and it should be June. And I want to be on the West Coast and see the mountains and drive through parks. And yeah, I want to be there already, but I can't. So I'm impatient.
Where in the West Coast are you going?
We are flying into Salt Lake City, and then we are driving to Seattle via Jackson and Missoula and Spokane and Bozeman. That's out of order. It's Bozeman, then Spokane, and then Seattle.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I booked a hotel for us in Seattle, and I never book hotels because I don't, and I'm very excited to go to this one. I got a little IPA welcome package for Louis at the hotel. It was like $20. So I was like, yeah, sure, add that on.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited and impatient. I'm in. Who's next?
I'll go. We're checking in, right?
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chilly because it suddenly got cool last night, and I'm sitting outside. Yeah, I'm feeling a little stressed because of my other work. There's been some unforeseen things. I'm helping launch a company, and we're bringing our product in from overseas, and there's just been it's new for me, and there's all these things I didn't know about that were, I don't know. Anyway, it's just a constant learning process, and then dealing with how other people approach time and deadlines. Yeah, so this week has been a little stressful, but happy to be here and sort of settle with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. How was the other day you were saying you were emailing with China? Has that resolved, or is that still happening?
I sorted out the first thing, and then there was another thing yesterday, and this morning it looks like everything has been sorted out. So I think right now our product might actually be on a boat coming over here now. So
woo!
I'll get
exciting.
Final confirmation, but yeah, it's been a while. I'm excited.
All right. I am feeling challenged, thankful and tender, and excited. So challenged because I have 4 meetings today, and I don't do well with 4 meetings. 3 is usually my limit that I can handle, but I'm going to go exercise before the last one. And the last one's kind of fun. So, I mean, they're all fun, but today I've got some intense meetings. The last one's just super fun. So I'm hoping that my escape to exercise will rejuvenate me. And so that's just challenging, especially on the last day. I'm tired. I'm thankful and tender. It is my kid's last day of school today. My Annie graduated 8th grade this week. So don't ever plan a major fundraiser conference when your daughter's graduating 8th grade. We didn't intentionally plan it this week. When we thought up the year calendar, we were going to launch our book a lot earlier, and we were going to have this a week earlier, and that didn't go as planned. So sometimes you make plans and they change. But yeah, that's been really challenging to navigate this week as a person who likes to be the best at everything. I have definitely been a good enough for now mother this week, which my good enough for now mother is probably pretty good. So I've been reminded to lean into those things, that it's good enough. but tender for them. They're super excited, and I just got them out the door. And then excited about about how many people have signed up for our celebration round today. I think it's like 16 so far. If you haven't signed up yet, you need to, because we're cutting it off at 29. Is that what you had? 29?
30. I was the first person to sign up. But if you are interested, put your name in the comments somewhere. I will send you the proper links.
Yes. So that's super fun, and some new names on there that I have not met before. So that's super fun, considering I've met almost every single person that's ever come through these doors. So I'm excited to meet some new people today.
That's great. Awesome. Well, do we need to also anchor in some appreciation? Was our check-in enough, or do we want to go right into some agenda listening?
I'm good to go to the next thing.
Cool.
But whatever you guys want.
Tony, how are you feeling?
I'm good to go, I think.
All right, let's do some agenda listening. So as Tony alluded to, all of our meetings, all of our circles in Luke 10 have agendas, and we have aims and domains, and it all funnels through the vision and mission of Luke 10. To see a vibrant family of Jesus and reach of everyone on the planet everywhere. And we make sure that the stuff that we do in operations reflects those values and reflects the 5 core values, and the stuff we do in communications reflects the 5 core values. I actually do not have my agenda pulled up. So today can be whatever we want it, because it's not a normal operations circle. So why don't we spend 2-ish minutes just listening? What should we do today? What is most important for us right now? And if you're listening at home and you feel something that we should talk about, throw it in the comments somewhere. There's like 5 different places you can leave comments. We will try to find it. That'll be fun. It'll be like a seek and find. What's it? Hide and seek with comments. All right. I'll call us back in 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to start making my way back. I don't think we have any comments on Instagram. We don't have any comments on the website because the comment box isn't working. But let me, doesn't matter. Let me check Facebook. And we have YouTube too, right? Yeah. Without anybody's watching on YouTube, but go. All right, nothing on the Facebook.
Wrong glasses. I couldn't see anybody. That was funny.
There we go. Zach, I failed to mention this to you the other day, but you were wearing, I think, a t-shirt from my absolute all-time favorite episode of a cartoon, Dog.
Yes, I love that shirt. Yeah, she's talking about Bluey, and we are Bluey fans in the La Valley House. Everybody knows. Everybody in Luke 10 knows that that I love Bluey. And we had our twin girls' 2-year birthday a couple weeks ago, and it was Bluey themed. So instead of getting like obvious Bluey, shirt or something, I got this shirt that says it looks like a sort of like an event shirt, just like a regular event shirt, and it says Stump Fest, and it has a picture of a stump and an axe, and a lemon and nail care products. And it's all from the episode about the men getting together to rip up the stump in their backyard and call it Stump.
I'm just wondering if you actually have put it in Joyfield Journal yet.
Bluey? We 100% should.
We
Putting
really
that
should.
in the ideations.
We really should.
Yeah.
I talk about it all the time. I'm like, Bluey is the most Luke 10 kids show I know that's out there.
That's exciting.
But anyway, it's funny because I almost mentioned it as part of my appreciation yesterday on our call. I was like, the first part of my appreciation was my shirt making me smile.
I kept forgetting to be like, I want to see all of it, because I just saw the axe and the stump, and it's anyway. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
It says Stump Fest, Brisbane, Australia, because that's where the show is from. And then it says free lemonade because the kids made lemonade in the show. Free manicures because they did manicures. And then it says at the bottom, it says rip up stumps, get sweaty, repeat.
I love it.
It's pretty amazing. I'm glad we spent all this time talking about this.
Me too.
On our
Thank
call.
you. Thanks, Tony, for bearing with us on Bluey paraphernalia.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing it up.
Mm-hmm. So the only operation thing that I felt super pressing to talk about was that Tony's going on vacation starting June 1st. She leaves before me. And this is the circle where we'd be like, what do you need? Do you need anything from us? Like, what does that look like for you? So I would love to add that into our talking points today. What else surfaced for people when you were listening in those 2 minutes on what we should do today? Oh, sorry, I had one more. When I was planning the whole schedule for this week, I scheduled this point as a debrief and reflect and a space to fix any major problems. And we haven't had any major problems, which is really exciting. So it's like, oh wow, I really don't know what to do today.
Amazing.
Because this time last year we were like burnt out on the operating system. I needed a tuning, I needed to cry. There was so much that needed caring for. But we don't have that right now, which is exciting. So those were my two things that came up.
Yes.
My first thing was just a sense of God's delight today, which was not an agenda item. But yeah, I just had this sense of like almost like his smile, if that makes sense. Like yeah, it was like it was like the crow's feet or something. That's the only way I know how to explain it. It was just like the smiling eyes. But yeah, just a sense of his delight in us today. And yeah, so that was just, I kind of sat in that for a minute. And then, yeah. The second thing was that I am out of town next week because of the way I work. I sometimes I don't have like fixed vacation. It's like sometimes sometimes we go somewhere, but I still work, and sometimes I have set like the like boundary vacations, and then like so I haven't really decided what next week is. But we're gonna be in Kansas City. We're leaving June 1st also. And so we were just talking. My wife and I were talking yesterday about how we want to approach work during that week. So as of right now, I still plan on being like available, but we can talk about that more later. But I just wanted to let you know I am out of town.
Cool. I just put down Zach June 1st, maybe working, maybe not. Is there any way you can let us know?
How long is that trip?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What'd you say?
How long is that trip?
10 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to the Big Slick, which I still don't really know what that is, but it's a big Kansas City thing, and Paul Rudd will be there, and all kinds of, I don't know. It's a fundraiser.
All right.
But yeah, I'll be around.
My favorite thing in Kansas City is the museum and the giant the giant badminton set outside of the museum.
Okay, did I see that yet? No, I didn't see that yet, but I remember you sent it to me once, and we had a laugh about it.
It's massive. Really weird for that to be my favorite thing. Thank you. Tony, how long is your vacation?
So it is a weird sort of vacation. I will still be in ops and finance on Thursday, and I will still be in R&D on Friday, the 2nd. So I'm just taking away all extra meetings. And then the 5th through the 9th, I would be back on the 12th, on Monday, the 12th. Except I actually have some meetings on Tuesday that I have to attend to that are time sensitive for the grant. So I will be in very selective meetings, but I will be trying not to work outside of those few selective meetings that I am required to be in. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What came up for you for the agenda for today?
I think talking about just any things that we need to cover. What are the main things that we need to all cover if we're all kind of off the map? I know Dennis will get back eventually before Hillary leaves, but honestly, if Zach's off during those days, then there's like two or 3 days where all 3 of us are gone. And Dennis is like there. So I just want to make sure what do we need to do before we all go, and make sure that next week while I'm still on, I can help make that happen. And maybe we talk about that next week. I don't know. Well, no, because next week is the 1st. So, but that's probably the most pressing thing for me. And then if we did anything for our people that are watching today, I thought one thing we just haven't talked about is kind of the unique contribution of Luke 10 to the relational revolution, which is this idea of Church of Two. And Zach's had a lot of experience with that, and so just thought we could throw that concept out there and pick Zach's brain and experience just a little bit, but that's only if we have time and if we want to do that.
Great, thank you. We have about an hour, so we could probably do it. We work pretty fast. Great. So vacations and what needs to be done. As far as operations go, the thing that needs the most attention with the most flux and the most the thing that changes and the thing that might change often is Church 101 signups, intro call signups, and communicating that information to the upcoming facilitators. I have taken over that part until Dennis gets back, because we can't function without that piece. If somebody signs up for an intro call and that information is not passed to the facilitator, that person will not join the intro call.
Okay.
That's the only one that I see that needs like real immediate attention daily, or as close to daily as possible.
And will Dennis be back before you leave so you can hand that back over to him?
I think so.
Okay. That's great.
Check that again.
One of the things I was thinking of is just making sure we get the Church 101s on the calendar before you go, if possible.
Yeah.
So that people can be signing up for Church 101s. So I don't know if next week.
I actually already got an email from Victoria and plan on putting one on there, and I just have to reach out to Tom Pritchard and Colleen, who both hosted intro calls.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because I think the new people probably won't want to schedule until they've at least done their intro call, as much as I would love for them to go ahead and schedule. That might be rushing them just a bit. And I don't know when their intro calls are scheduled. So it probably won't be till July, until we get back from vacation for sure, that they're actually scheduling. So if we could have one or two on the calendar, at least until we get back, that'd be great.
Yeah. That's my goal. Probably maybe by the end of the day. I'm not really sure. I'm working very lightly tomorrow. But that's a definite, like, I want to do this.
Great. I mean, my work, I don't think there's anything that I need from people. I just stop working and nothing moves forward. None of my projects move forward. So I think that, which is why I'm still going to be touching base with a few circles and those projects, because they have deadlines. But can y'all see anything that I have to do that you might want to, you would need to cover for me? I have a trainer.
I mean, the only thing I think of when I think of you leaving is training, but now we have Jay in place. So I feel like that's all passed over, right?
Yeah. Well, and the people I'm training, I just won't meet with that week. I mean,
yeah,
I'll catch up with them next week. So yeah. The trainer circle gathering is probably the only thing that I'm going to, really hate missing, because I missed last month. So but that's again between Jay and I. So I'll talk with him about that on tomorrow. Yeah.
That's great.
The other thing that this is ops and comes, but we should probably have Joyfield Journal scheduled. Is that right? Because
Yes.
Yeah, I think by the 31st.
Leader lesson will have to go out. Joyfield Journal will need to be ready to go.
Yeah, I can make that draft email for you today, if to have it ready, because we don't necessarily need the rest of the content until a day or two before June.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Zach,
it's on the 8th, right? June 8th this month.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about the leader lesson with Tony.
Oh, okay.
For the JFJ, yes, it would be the second Thursday, so that would be the 8th. Is that the 8th, the second Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And I will be on vacation that day. So Zach, we can either work on it next week, hammer it out, and have it ready to go before you leave, or you can work tirelessly the 5th through the 7th before I leave.
Right.
So you can choose whichever way you want to
choose your journey.
Yeah.
Thank you for the option.
Yeah. The other option is we don't send it at all and we ruin our 7-month streak, which I kind of have a paramount objection to, but just slightly.
Wow. That's amazing. 7 months.
Yeah. Great.
I love JFJ.
We do.
which is our newsletter for anyone that is unaware. We keep saying JFJ and Joyful Journal. It's a monthly content curation newsletter. We scour the world and the internet for books and articles and podcasts and interviews, and we even had some movies on there, songs, art, and we throw it all into a monthly email, and it's wonderful.
Awesome. Okay. Any other work stuff? Anything else? Tony, was there anything else that was coming up for you other than your projects? You said, I'm just not going to work on them.
No, I'm just thinking of other things. I need to build agendas for other people facilitating some meetings, but
Gotcha.
yet.
Great. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
did have one other thought, and that was just, can we talk about our meeting dates for the summer? Because we are going down to twice a month. Is that right?
We didn't actually decide. I think you said that in a circle somewhere, and I think it's just stuck, but we haven't actually talked about it.
Okay. What would we like to do as a rhythm of meeting for the next 8 weeks?
Well, Tony has proposed that we meet twice a month.
I propose that we meet twice a month. If you're in town, you get to come, and if you're on vacation, you don't.
Great.
And this would be for comms as well
Mhm.
as this one, as well as ops.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a proposal right now, or are we doing this now?
Yeah,
You're
reaction
laughing.
round.
That sounds like a
Clarifying
proposal. Okay.
questions,
No, that was a real proposal. I'm looking at my calendar. Sorry. Tony, are you proposing 2 times a month randomly, every other, 2 in a row, the ones to get the
Every
most
other,
people?
yeah, just to
Okay.
spread them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So that would mean the next ops would be the 8th. And I'm not here and Tony's not here, and it's just Dennis. So that one's out.
We love you, Dennis. So sorry. You're going to be meeting by yourself.
The next one could be the 15th. I'm not back yet.
I'll be here.
You'll be here. Zach
Dennis.
should be here,
I can do
and
that.
Dennis will be back.
All right.
So 15th and 29th.
That's the first one, the 15th. Yep, the next one would be the 29th. I am, for all I know, I'm still here. I'll be here. I'll be back.
I will be here.
Great. And then July, shall we do the 13th? And the 27th?
We can. I will not be here on either of those dates, but y'all could still meet without me.
Ooh, when's your other vacation?
So the last week of July, we had to traverse City to be with Shannon and do our Luke 10 Wild. That'll be my real vacation. I will not have any meetings. I will be fully with family and fun and friends.
And is that
that's the 24th through the 30th
okay.
of July. And then the 13th, I'm actually traveling to do a Godly Play conference in somewhere below me. The state right below me. That's
Georgia?
right
below me.
Alabama? I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
What?
Huntsville, Alabama. I always forget which one's directly.
The state below
Georgia,
me.
Alabama. I get them confused all the time. That state down there. Sorry.
Somewhere beneath you.
It's beneath me.
Anyway, I do a full Godly Play retreat that weekend. So it's going to be intensive, and I leave on a Thursday to drive down there to start that. I only do 2 of those a year. So this is me toca, as they say in Spanish. It touches me on that date. I have to do that.
So if we wanted you in One Up Circle, we could do the 20th.
Possibly, or you guys could just meet without me. I don't think you'll need me in the Up Circle anymore. That might be a new proposal in August that I make, that I not be here at all.
That's fine.
I have to start backing out of some circles and letting y'all function without me. So this might be the first one. We'll see.
Great. Okay. So that covers through July. Let me pull up my calendar for August real quick. The next would be the 10th, if we're still doing every other. And the 24th.
Oh, for August?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume I'm not around on the 10th because the 9th is our anniversary, and we usually do like an overnight or something.
Nice.
But you can still meet. I just
Yes, I think those are good for me.
Okay. My anniversary is the 3rd, Zach. I think we've talked about this before.
All good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, that means
cool.
so did you get married on a Sunday? Is that what that would be? Trying to do the
I thought we did Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday.
I think we did.
Okay.
all right. That looks wonderful.
Great. Now,
Love it.
switching gears.
24th is when?
Yes.
Okay.
Switching gears to the communication circle. And we meet on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Today's the 25th. I would love for us to meet next week because we've had like a whirlwind.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Definitely.
So that would be the 30th of May. The 6th, Tony is out. Zach is maybe working, maybe not working. What would you like to do with that one, Zach? I can meet with myself all day.
I would assume I wouldn't be available for a call.
Okay.
If I am working, I probably want to keep the flexibility, a little more asynchronous work.
Okay.
Since we'll be with friends.
Great. The 13th, I am still out. Would you guys like to meet?
Will you be back yet, Zach?
I'll be back.
Okay. So 13th, and that is Zach and Tony. And I will post these in our Discord for us too, so that way we're all on the same page. Then the 27th of June. That would be all of us.
So these are at 10, right? Our normal 10 o'clock hour.
Correct.
I mean 10 Eastern.
Correct.
Great. So no meeting on the 20th. Great.
Okay. Into July. Let's not meet on July 4th. So
That's not.
the 11th. And then the 25th, and that would mean Tony is out on the 25th. Would you be out on the 11th too?
I can make it, especially if I'm not, wait. Yeah. If I don't come on the 13th, I can probably make it. We'll see how prep's going.
Okay. I'll put you down as a maybe.
I have the 10th all day. I'm prepping for the conference, so I should be okay by the 11th to meet.
Okay. And the 25th, Tony will not be here. So that's the last week of July.
But you still want to meet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're into August. We'll skip the 1st, we'll skip the 8th. So that leaves the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. Any of those feel like you don't want to have a meeting that day?
I can do the 15th and the 22nd. I want to say, oh, no, I could meet on any of those days. Yeah.
15th is good.
Okay.
We're still doing every other,
and
15th and 29th.
15th and 29th.
15th and 29th. Awesome.
All right.
While we're talking dates and while we're in August, Zach, I am going to be in Connecticut.
Oh yeah. New Haven, right?
Yeah, New Haven.
Let's go.
The
Let's go.
17th to the 20th. Of August.
Okay.
And we don't have any plan. Well, there's a big plan, but Louis is playing in a tournament. But I don't have any plans, or we're not even like officially going yet. He has to wait for registration to open. But those are the tentative dates.
Okay. 17th to the 20th, you said?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I have that on there so we can
Pencil that in there. Awesome.
So the general circle only meets twice a month anyway. So I'm going to leave those dates the same, and whoever is in town can sync. Okay.
Perfect.
And I'll just keep track of who's here and who can facilitate and all that good stuff as we live into that.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Great.
For all of you watching, thanks for tackling all the dates with us. I'm sure that was thrilling.
Very important.
Part of me wonders, I don't know, if we want to end the live stream and restart it, if we decide to talk about Church of Two, and that way we have a separate recording with just the Church of Two stuff, and people don't have to wade through all of the ops dates to hear the good stuff that they might be more curious about.
Fine with me. I don't think we have anyone currently watching.
I was thinking of quickly sharing the process of how we decided how to go about our summer. Did we talk about that? Can I just mention that real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so we Tony mentioned on another call that we've been running pretty hard for the last year, different projects, a lot of new things. The organization is changing. Just a lot of new things, and especially with the book launch. And a month or so ago, a month and a half, Tony felt like Jesus was saying, like, I don't know the specifics, but sort of like shut it down, pull back a lot this summer, and yeah, she was saying that there was a sense of like we need to give some attention to our culture, because I think you would say like it shifted a little beyond who we are, and maybe we stepped outside of who we are a little bit, and the way that we were working, the pace.
And not intentionally, mind you, right? Because we tried to hire people to do some of our work for us and they failed.
Yeah.
And we had to take their work on. So I just want to continue to state we weren't intentionally trying to overwork.
Yeah,
we were
just adapting.
trying to do the opposite,
Yeah.
but life hit us and we had to step up to the plate, and we all did. And it was incredible. And I'm so proud of us. Yeah. But yes, it's too easy to keep running at that pace and not realize this is not who we are. We've got to pull back.
Yeah. And so we sensed from Jesus that we needed to reset the culture. Yeah. That was the phrase, I think, resetting the culture. So over the next couple months, we are in response to that, stepping back a bit, maybe a little more like maintenance mode, even how we're talking about these meetings, like slowing them down. And I have a billion ideas blowing up in the back of my head, but I'm also going to try to pull back a little. So yeah, anyway, I just want to share that again. It's like the being Jesus led is not just a thing on a plaque on a wall here. Like it's important and integrated into who we are.
Yeah.
So, and thank you, Tony, for sort of leading us in being Jesus led.
Thanks. Yeah. Again, stemming from that question of how do I protect the organization from myself as well was where that was coming from. Just a really incredible shift in me over the last year. Yeah, that's been beautiful.
Yeah. Which is for those that don't know, I think is like a maturity test that we talk about. Or is it a relational skill, a relational brain skill?
It is a maturity task. Yes, it is a maturity task. It might be a brain skill too. So sorry, Chris Coursey, not that you'll ever see this video, but I should have these memorized. He's going to be like, Tony, you're letting me down. I've trained you. Why don't you know your relational brain skills? I actually have a card right here on my desk somewhere, and it's buried under multiple pieces of paper. Anyway, it is a maturity task. I know that much.
And the task
relational skill too.
The task and skill is sort of like being aware of who you are and how your strengths and weaknesses and personality and things and how that can leak out and affect the people around you. And so you're proactive and how can I sort of not just say, this is who I am and let it happen, but say, how can I sort of protect my people as I'm growing in these different areas? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. And what I've seen leaders do in my own experience has been that they will justify their weaknesses because of their strengths. So when you tell them, you know what, you're running too fast, or, you know, you're too blunt, you're not relational when you can give me constructive feedback or whatever, instead of owning that and going, yeah, that is a weakness I struggle with, help me work on it, they will press in to try to make you see how good their personality really is, right? But, you know, I'm a prophet, or, you know, I'm this, and, you know, kind of like you get both, you know, the strength will bring the weakness, you get both of them. And I just don't think that's true. I mean, I think that can be true if that's the way y'all want to roll, right? But I find that typically is very narcissistic, actually, and leads to destroying your relationships on your teams and eventually your organization. And and I think that we can learn to protect people from our weaknesses. And it's not shameful that I actually have them. It's okay because my strengths do bring them, but strengths on steroids burn people out, right? It's like you've got to learn to wield those strengths wisely. And I think that's what hopefully my 50s are all about. I hope by the time I'm 60, I'm like, oh man, I got all this we're ready to work on the next thing, right? Because it never ends. But I feel like this is my 50s challenge. So I'm up for the challenge. Yeah. Thanks. And I got a great team helping. So thank you, Zach. Yeah. Appreciate it.
So I don't know if this has been talked about, but as you were talking about like the strengths and like not harming others with your strengths, I thought of our living organism of Luke 10 and our strengths. And if as an organism, are we hurting anybody?
Wow.
Because we run fast. We listen to Jesus, we go, we move. But I wonder if our strengths of the organization are hurting, and it's just that's what you get. That's who we are.
Wow. That's a great question to be listening on, I think. And just to think about that, I think in the early days we were, when I came on 10 years ago, we were hurting people that were in the institutional church because of the prophetic nature of our organization and our founder, and the confrontive nature. It's hard to speak truth and still love and value the people that you're speaking truth to. That takes a lot of maturity. And so, I think we've, bringing Kent Larson on to our core team to rewrite Church 101 was huge in us actually rewriting it with an institutional church pastor and getting his perspective on everything we were doing. And yeah, he was like, y'all got to stop doing this. This is harmful. And we're like, but so those were some fascinating days. And I think we're still in that as a leadership team, still listening on how we can still be prophetic and challenge the culture to change and still love those who are in the culture at the same time. Yeah. That's a great big question to be listening on.
Yeah. We always say that Luke 10 is a living organism and it is an ecosystem of grace. And sometimes when we have these conversations, we think of Luke 10 as a character on our screen, as a person that is embodying. And so just keeping Luke 10 in mind of all of us is just something that we do often in a lot of circles, in a lot of different conversations.
Yeah.
It's so interesting you're bringing it up, because I was talking to my CO2 partner just a couple days ago about, we don't have to I don't know if you're facilitating us into this conversation or just bringing it up, but it's just interesting that it's come up because we were talking about that, not Luke 10 specific, but some of the language. And I was like, does that come off as like, is that off-putting to talk about it like that? And he didn't think so, but it just got me thinking about it.
Wow. Yeah. And it really is, when you think of people in the past who've shaped culture, Martin Luther King, Martin Luther, Jesus, Gandhi. I mean, you think of so many people who have been prophetic to shift culture. It is a complicated issue and situation, I think, to have a heart at peace. And I think it goes, for me, really, Enemy Mode, the book Enemy Mode, and Escaping Enemy Mode is going to be foundational. And The Pandora Problem, 2 really good books that are foundational for me as I'm shaping this to keep us in check and to help us develop the skills necessary to try to do this well, because it is the amount of people who don't do it well is abundant. So the real life models that we have of people doing it well aren't really easy to find, except these great giants, right? Which we're not doing that. So it's hard to find the little places. So I think those books are companions for us in that. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I had to run and take my trash. Was there anything else that we were talking about? Is this a natural closing? Do we want to switch gears to different conversation?
I mean, we are almost out of time. We could do a closing round.
Are we doing 1 hour today?
Oh, I
We have 30
forgot.
minutes.
We always get the time on this one. I always get, well, Dennis and I usually get the time mixed up on this one because we started a quarter after. So
I normally get the time wrong, but he started putting the start and end time on the agenda, and that's really been helpful for me.
That's really good.
So,
oh, that's great. So yes, you're right. We do have 30 more minutes, Zach, instead of just 15.
we could also end early because you have lots of meetings. So why don't we take just like a minute and just breathe and ask, what do we want to do? Do we want to start a whole new conversation, or do we want to close out? What were you sensing, Tony?
So I was sensing how it's so like me to just keep pressing on, keep pressing on, keep pressing on. And as we quieted, I saw myself sitting on my porch with all my with Jesus and all my parts with a nice cup of coffee, enjoying nature. And I was like, oh, that's what I need right now. Okay, because I've got 3 hours of really intense meetings coming up. Okay. And then it occurred to me, wow, I don't often ask for what I need because I suppress my needs to show up for everyone else until I fall apart. I mean, that used to be my pattern. I think I'm getting a little better at it now. So that made me laugh and chuckle that, oh, I'm with my friends. I can ask for what I need. I don't have to bury that or act like I don't have needs and keep showing up, right, for whatever. So it's a weird new stage of life for me to say, I'd rather be on the porch with a cup of coffee and myself. But I love y'all so much, so I don't want to leave you.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Welcome.
I think we can definitely make that happen. Zach, what were you sensing?
I was sort of paying attention to we talked about talking about Church of Two, and so I was giving attention to that desire, but I was like, I think I'm just at a running pace in my heart and my body about that. It excites me, but I was like, I wanted to defer. That my final thought was that to defer to you guys because I didn't feel like Jesus was saying, go talk about this now.
I think it's important and I want it to be talked about. For sure. So
I also feel like I'm cramming.
Maybe we talk about it on my podcast or something.
Maybe
we do a whole
that
podcast.
Could be fun. Zach, before we do a closing round, because I'm totally okay with going to a closing round. Is your friend open to meeting today? Because last night he was like, yeah, and then not available this morning. Is he available later? Because I can have that conversation with you guys.
I'm waiting to hear back about his availability today, but at this point I don't even know if I can do it today.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to hear back from him to see if we can finagle it.
Then I think I'm gonna take Tony's throw out thing as an actual proposal that she hosts you on her podcast at some point and talks about your Church of Two. I think that would be beautiful.
Yeah. Super fun. Or even John and the Stories of the Revolution. He would love you too. We might have to fight over that one, but I think that the sooner the better.
Wonderful. All right, closing round. What did you see happen? What are you taking away? If you're ready, go for it.
I saw maturity at play in different facets of it. Just people saying what they need, people setting boundaries, communicating, listening to Jesus, being delighted in by Jesus. Tony, sharing your maturity and maturing process at your stage and how I always love that, being being at a different life stage and maturity stage, and because it's always encouraging to see process continuing. And not perfection, but process. And so it's always cool to see in the elderly.
That
So yeah, I always say like, you're my elders, and I'm like, is that an insult? Like, we mean it in a maturity way, but I'm like, yeah. Anyway, no, I just enjoy enjoying this with you all. That's it.
Thank you. I enjoyed, Hillary, your the how many times we listened, and just it was really nice to slow it down and have that space to listen. I mean, it is who we are, but it never gets boring, old, wrong, or like rote. So it's always like, oh, we listened today. That was so cool.
yeah.
Which is just funny, right? And Zach, your ability to back out and see the big picture of things, both of you, and then Hillary bringing in the organization stuff. I really appreciate that about both of you. And then I'm leaving. My takeaway is watching in my mind, in my imagination, watching all of us play this summer and enjoy family and friends and places and spaces and kids and whatever. And that makes me really happy and feels it's expansive. Just picturing you, Hillary, on vacation out west, I just get really happy for you. I'm so excited. And Zach too, with the family. I get really excited. Myself as well, but it's like picturing Dennis right now with his daughter. It's like I know he's getting his joy tank fueled, and filled, and that's just super exciting for me. So I'm thankful that we get to do that.
That's great. Did I share mine?
No.
Okay, I thought I was like, all right, and then we're done. No, I love the flow of today, and how I can show up with a pseudo agenda, and then completely go in a different direction and have it be so rich and beautiful, because we're not stuck on what we write, but we listen and move with what we're sensing and feeling, and that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you tonight when we're closing. Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, we have to do a little outro, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we do. I don't know where my piece of paper is with my intros and outros. It's like the last day, and I start to get completely disorganized.
So the next
and I just start losing everything. So welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. I showed up so professional on the first day. Last time, like, y'all get what you get. All right. Here we are. Luke 10 is able to develop resources, coordinate our global trainings, and continue experimenting with church as heart-to-heart connection or secure attachment because of the generous donations of those wanting to fuel and fund the relational revolution. We would love for you to listen, as we've listened today, around God. What do you want me to fund as far as Christian ministry goes in life? What kinds of organizations? And if you resonate with our values, if your heart, as you're watching this, goes, who are these people? How do they do this? And you want in on it, join us. We've got training online, but also become a strategic partner and help other pastors and leaders find a way of living into these values that really is reproducible and spontaneous. Yep, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Our next.com/live.
Yeah, our next meeting starts at the top of the hour. It's going to be a spicy discussion. Are communities of practice a valid expression of church?
And I will say we're actually presenting a proposal to the Mission Circle for consulting. And so we have several spicy questions. And I mean, Kent Smith's not going to be there. I'm really sad because he is actually doing a regenerative culture workshop in Abilene today, and he was supposed to present the proposal. And so it is on me to present the proposal. And sometimes that doesn't go well when I do that.
So it's going to be just you and John?
Hence, oh no, our whole mission circle. So Shannon.
Oh, okay.
Who else is Shannon
Zach?
and Zach? Zach.
I'm on the mission circle.
Yes. Okay, I forgot you're there. Thank you. Save me, rescue me.
Rescue.
If I look like I'm losing myself, just kind of interrupt to be like, oh no, maybe we need a timeout.
This one, remember when she blows her lid? You just boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, that's great. That would be a great symbol to me, Zach. If I need to breathe, just my husband, when we're in public together or in tables or wherever, and I'm getting elevated, he will put his hand on my leg to let me know I need to take a breath. So there you go, Zach. Take a breath, Tony. Slow it down. Whew.
All right, we do need to end early so you can actually have your spot on the porch. 9 a.m. Central. See you guys. 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Spicy conversations. Come join us.
Spicy conversation.